In a world where grocery bills rise faster than wages, the Amish continue to live richly on very little. Their secret? Every meal they cook comes from the land, from leftovers, or from pure ingenuity. There are no processed foods, no takeout menus, just simplicity, resourcefulness, and flavor born from tradition. What you're about to discover are 20 authentic Amish frugal dishes that can help you save hundreds, even thousands, every single month, all while eating wholesome, satisfying food. These recipes aren't just about saving money, they're about reviving a lost wisdom, one where waste was a sin and gratitude was the main ingredient. So step inside the quiet of an Amish kitchen, where the scent of bread, the sound of a simmering pot, and the peace of simplicity remind us that true wealth is found not in luxury, but in living well with less. 1. Amish bean soup. In nearly every Amish farmhouse, there's a pot of beans simmering slowly on the back of a wood stove. It's a meal that costs almost nothing, yet fills the home with warmth and fragrance. Dried navy beans are soaked overnight, then boiled with a single smoked ham bone or just a handful of vegetables. Sometimes only onions, celery, and a pinch of salt. No waste, no rush, just patience. The starch from the beans thickens the broth naturally, and what's left after dinner becomes tomorrow's lunch. A pound of beans feeds an entire family for pennies, reminding us that thrift and comfort can share the same bowl. 2. Shoofly pie, sweetness from scraps. This dessert, famous in Amish country, was born from scarcity. When sugar and butter were precious, molasses became the hero. Shoofly pie is built from what others might discard: leftover molasses, stale crumbs, and a bit of flour. The sticky base bakes into a rich caramel layer while the crumb topping crisps into gold. Served with milk or coffee, it's filling enough to be breakfast on a hard-work morning. It's proof that frugality doesn't mean deprivation, it means turning little into something unforgettable. 3. Fried potato mash cakes. Nothing goes to waste in an Amish kitchen, especially not leftover potatoes. Yesterday's mash becomes today's hearty meal. The cold mash is mixed with an egg, some flour, and a touch of salt, then shaped into patties and fried in lard or butter until golden brown. Crisp on the outside, soft inside, these cakes are eaten plain or with homemade applesauce. For less than $1's worth of ingredients, you get a breakfast that could feed a family of 6. It's a dish that says, waste nothing, enjoy everything. 4. Amish chicken corn soup. When an Amish kitchen prepares chicken, not a single piece goes to waste. The bones, skin, and trimmings are saved to make a golden broth simmered slowly for hours. Sweet corn, fresh from the garden, joins shredded chicken and egg noodles to form a soup that stretches into multiple meals. A single chicken can feed an entire family for days. Served with homemade bread or leftover biscuits, it's hearty, healthy, and deeply comforting. The kind of meal that fills you up without emptying your wallet. 5. Poor man's steak. Despite its humble name, this dish tastes like pure comfort. Ground beef is mixed with crushed crackers, milk, and onions, then shaped into thick patties and baked until golden brown. Instead of pricey cuts of steak, the Amish transform simple ground meat into something that feels rich. A creamy mushroom or onion gravy poured over the top gives it flavor and depth. It's often served with mashed potatoes or noodles, and no one leaves the table hungry. It's proof that flavor doesn't come from expense, but from creativity and care. 6. Baked oatmeal with apples and milk. Every Amish morning begins with something warm and filling, and baked oatmeal is the champion of frugal breakfasts. Made with oats, eggs, milk, and sugar, ingredients found in every farmhouse pantry, This dish costs next to nothing but feels indulgent. Sliced apples or leftover fruit are added to the mix, giving natural sweetness and texture. Once baked, it's served with a splash of cold milk poured on top. Families bake it in large pans and reheat slices throughout the week. It's breakfast, dessert, and snack, all for the price of a single bag of oats. 7. Amish cabbage and noodle casserole. Cabbage and noodles, two of the cheapest ingredients on earth, come together to create one of the Amish community's most comforting dishes. Shredded cabbage is sautéed slowly in butter until tender and sweet, then tossed with egg noodles and a splash of cream or milk. The dish is seasoned simply with salt, black pepper, and sometimes a pinch of nutmeg. It's baked in the oven until lightly browned on top. It costs pennies to make, yet it's filling, flavorful, and feeds a crowd. In many Amish homes, this is the meal that stretches the grocery budget the furthest while feeling like a feast. 8. Shepherd's pie. Amish-style. Forget the fancy version. The Amish make shepherd's pie using whatever leftovers are on hand. Ground beef or turkey, diced vegetables, and leftover mashed potatoes form the base. Everything is layered in a casserole dish, baked until golden, and topped with a bit of butter. Sometimes, if eggs are abundant, they whip one into the potatoes for fluffiness. This simple meal can feed 8 people for less than the cost of 2 drive-through burgers, and it keeps well for days. Each serving feels rustic, hearty, and real, the kind of food that makes a home smell alive. 9. Homemade egg noodles with creamed peas. In the Amish kitchen, flour and eggs are never wasted. They become homemade noodles. Rolled thin, cut into ribbons, and air-dried, these noodles are stored for weeks. One of the most beloved frugal meals is creamed peas over noodles. Fresh garden peas are simmered in milk and thickened with a spoon of flour to make a light gravy. When poured over the warm noodles, it's a meal rich in comfort but gentle on the wallet. It's vegetarian, simple, and deeply satisfying, proof that abundance doesn't require extravagance. 10. Bread pudding with milk and cinnamon. In Amish homes, stale bread is never thrown away. It's reborn. Leftover loaves are torn into pieces and soaked in a mixture of milk, eggs, and sugar, then flavored with cinnamon or a drizzle of molasses. Baked until golden, it transforms into a rich, custard-like pudding that tastes far more luxurious than its ingredients suggest. It's served warm for breakfast or dessert, often with a spoon of cold cream. What would have been waste becomes a dish that costs almost nothing and fills the kitchen with sweetness and gratitude. 11. Amish ham and bean bake. When there's a small leftover piece of ham from Sunday dinner, it never goes to waste. The Amish mix that bit of meat with baked beans, onions, and molasses in a stone crock, then slow bake it until the sauce thickens and the beans soak up every drop of smoky flavor. Even if there's no meat, the molasses and onion alone make it rich and hearty. This dish can be stretched over several meals, eaten with bread one day, stuffed into cornbread the next. It's not just frugality, it's mastery over waste. 12. Cornmeal mush. This dish is as simple as it gets: cornmeal, water, and salt, yet it's one of the most dependable staples in Amish homes. Cooked thick like porridge and poured into pans to set, it becomes a versatile base for meals. Sliced and fried in the morning with butter and syrup, or served at night with gravy and vegetables, it feeds large families on mere pennies. Cornmeal mush is the perfect example of Amish philosophy. If you respect simple ingredients, they'll take care of you in return. 13. Garden vegetable chowder. The Amish garden is the foundation of their table, and this chowder captures that spirit perfectly. Made with whatever vegetables are in season, carrots, potatoes, green beans, corn, and onions, this thick, creamy soup uses milk instead of expensive cream and butter instead of oil. The flavor comes from freshness, not fancy ingredients. It's slow cooked over a wood stove until every vegetable softens and releases its sweetness. Served with a slice of homemade bread, it's a full meal that costs almost nothing when the garden provides the goods. 14. Fried green tomatoes. Before tomatoes ripen, the Amish never let them go to waste. Sliced while firm and coated in cornmeal, the green tomatoes are fried in a hot skillet with just enough oil to turn them golden and crisp. The tanginess of the tomato with the crunch of the cornmeal makes for a dish that's both frugal and addictive. It's a favorite at Amish farm stands and potlucks because it turns what would be discarded into something celebrated. Paired with sour cream or homemade ketchup, it's proof that simple can still surprise. 15. Cucumber and vinegar salad. On sweltering summer days, this chilled salad is the definition of Amish simplicity. Sliced cucumbers and onions are soaked in a mixture of vinegar, sugar, and water, then left in the cellar to cool. The result is crisp, tangy, and refreshing, a side dish that pairs with nearly every meal. It keeps for days, sometimes improving as the flavors deepen. No fancy dressing, no refrigeration needed, just the balance of sour, sweet, and cool that brings relief from both heat and hunger. 16. Homemade Amish bread. In Amish homes, bread is not just food, it's a daily ritual. Made from flour, yeast, sugar, and milk, this bread costs only a fraction of store-bought loaves, yet tastes infinitely better. The secret lies in slow kneading and patient rising, often done beside the wood stove. Each loaf is brushed with butter while still warm, giving it a golden crust and soft interior. Nothing goes to waste. Yesterday's loaf becomes today's toast, tomorrow's bread pudding, or the base for sandwiches that feed entire families for pennies. A week's worth of bread costs less than a single supermarket loaf, yet delivers comfort that money can't buy. 17. Amish apple fritters. When apples are in season, no fruit goes uneaten. The Amish take bruised or overripe apples, the kind markets would throw away, and turn them into crispy, golden fritters. Sliced apples are mixed with a simple batter of flour, eggs, and milk, then fried in oil or lard until puffy and brown. A dusting of powdered sugar or drizzle of honey makes them irresistible. They're cheap, quick, and perfect for breakfast or dessert. 18. Bread and butter pickles. The Amish have perfected the art of preservation, and bread and butter pickles are a testament to that. Made from cucumbers, onions, vinegar, and sugar, these pickles are a staple in nearly every pantry. They're called bread and butter because they were once eaten as a poor man's lunch. Pickles served between two slices of bread when money was tight. The tangy, sweet flavor is both refreshing and sustaining. Today, they still accompany meals year-round, saving families from buying costly condiments or snacks. Each jar represents thrift turned into tradition. 19. Amish chicken and dumplings. A classic comfort dish, Amish chicken and dumplings, is the heart of Sunday dinner and one of the most cost-efficient meals ever created. It starts with a whole chicken, not just the meat, but the bones, skin, and even the feet are boiled to create a thick, golden broth. The dumplings are made from flour, salt, and water, three of the cheapest ingredients in the kitchen. Dropped into the simmering broth, they puff up into soft, chewy pillows that soak up the rich flavor of the soup. A small chicken can make enough food to feed 10 people, with leftovers that reheat beautifully for days. Every spoonful carries warmth, thrift, and satisfaction, the perfect symbol of Amish cooking. 20. Amish vegetable pot pie. Potatoes, carrots, green beans, and onions are stewed in a broth made from herbs and butter until tender. The noodles are added at the end, thickening the broth into something between a soup and a casserole. It's hearty, simple, and endlessly adaptable. Whatever the garden offers becomes dinner. With no expensive meats or store-bought crusts, this dish can be made entirely from what the land provides. It's more than a recipe. It's a statement of gratitude, resourcefulness, and balance. These 20 Amish dishes prove that a meal doesn't need to be expensive to feel abundant. The Amish eat with purpose, every scrap reused, every ingredient respected, every flavor drawn from the earth. Their kitchens remind us that simplicity isn't about lack, it's about wisdom. By cooking like them, you don't just save money, you rediscover what food was always meant to be: nourishing, meaningful, and shared.